In today's video, I will do my very best to try to accurately power scale the Straw Hat Pirates. Now, recently, me and my brother did a video over on his channel. Check out that video, the link will be in the description. But in this video, we pretty much power scale the Straw Hats on Wano, and we kind of like put them in order in terms of strength and how strong we thought they'd be. Now, a lot of people did like this video, however, there were some concerns in the comments, and I did see those. So today I'm going to try my best to accurately depict kind of why I picked the places I did for each Straw Hat and try to summarize that based on feats. Now, I will talk about how strong they are, but also how strong I think that they could be after Wano was over. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys check out my pinned comment. There you'll see my Twitch link. Make sure you click that and follow me on Twitch so you can join the Twitch streams that I do daily. Also, my Discord link is there as well. Make sure you click that and join the Synsei Grand Fleet server. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So first, I guess we can talk about Nami. I think Nami's pretty easy to talk about here. And I believe some people may be confused about where Nami places amongst the Straw Hats currently. See, the problem with her is that she has a very good feat in defeating Alti. So most people see her defeating someone like Alti that just got up from a Big Mom's Conqueror's coding punch, and they think, okay, Nami's very strong. Now, her offensive capabilities may be high due to the Zeus being in the climb attack now, but we have to take into consideration that Alti was basically almost out of the door already when she did attack her. The Conqueror's coding punch probably put Alti on like 5% health, so Nami really took out a 5 to 10% health Alti, which is still very impressive for Nami, but not as impressive as some people were trying to make it seem. My point in all of this is that yes, Nami has grown significantly just due to her climb attack being upgraded with Zeus. However, Nami isn't out here about to beat people like Alti at 100%. With that being said though, I do think that Nami is capable of beating some lesser opponents that we've seen in the One Piece verse. For instance, if she was to go against like Arlong now, she would, in my opinion, obliterate him. I think that the climb attack is very, very offensive. The weakness lies in that she still is weak herself. Yes, her weapon is powerful, but her body isn't. And that's the problem. She still has a lack of haki as well. So even though she does have the high offensive output, she reminds me of an Enel, someone that doesn't have a ton of durability, is kind of weak physically, and still doesn't have haki. With that being said though, I do think, like I said, that she is capable of beating some individuals that we've seen. For instance, I think that if we were going to correlate it to Wano, just to keep things relevant, she could take out some gifters, which I think is still very good for Nami. I just don't see Nami beating anyone of note yet. So next up we have Brook. Now Brook is an odd one, and a lot of you guys were upset with my placement of Brook because I put him below Chopper. It isn't that I 100% believe that Chopper is stronger than Brook or Brook is stronger than Chopper. It's just very hard to place Brook because we don't have any concrete 1v1 feats with him. But guys, do not worry, I do like Brook. And you know what else I like? This video. So if you guys are here already and haven't liked the video, make sure you smash the like button. And if you want more One Piece content like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications. So back to Brook. Basically, he doesn't have a ton of 1v1 altercations. I can't really think of any like 1v1s he's had, and that's why it's kind of hard to scale him. But he does have awesome feats though. He did land an awesome attack against Big Mom, and he's more of the support character, and I do give him credit for how much of a support character he is. But as you can see, when it comes to power scaling, those that don't have a linear matchup, for instance, like if I know Luffy beat Hody Jones fairly, then Luffy is more powerful than Hody Jones, which could help me scale to the next person that's right after Hody or something like that. But with Brook, we don't really have that. With that being said though, I do want to give credit to him landing that attack on Big Mom and doing the damage that he did. I'm not saying he'd knock Big Mom out or beat her 1v1 or anything. However, we do have to give it credit. Because of that, I think Brook is going to probably be able to defeat gifters pretty easily, and he could probably go head to head with like a very low commander, someone like a Snack or something like that. I don't know if he'd win, but there's a possibility, and that's kind of where I have him now, especially with the lack of haki as well. So next up we have Chopper. Now I wanted to talk about Chopper because I did bring him up right after Brook. Now Chopper is a little easier to scale for me. I think that Chopper's a lot stronger now that he has that medication him and Caesar cooked up that will give his monster point 30 minutes. That's a lot of time to be a monster point. Monster point's pretty strong because you have to scale the monster point up because he's actually grown significantly when it comes to like just physicality, where he was at Drum Island and where he is after the time skip. That's a different person. He's been traveling the sea, so we have to give credit for that as well. His knowledge has also increased. He has more Rumble Ball forms now, so he has increased in strength in my opinion. But I think the 30 minutes of Monster Point is where like most of his strength is going to come from. Now, as I mentioned in my video with my brother, I do think that Chopper could beat Gifters pretty easily. I think that Chopper could defeat someone like Snack, not very easily, but I think that he could with the 30-minute Monster Point. We did see him attacking Queen, so Chopper isn't fodder. Like, none of the Straw Hats are fodder. Let me just get that out of the way. I think that some people thought that I believe that they are. They are in no way, shape, or form fodder. They're a Yonko crew at this point, and after Wano, I just made that tier just to kind of be on the satirical type of thing and be funny, but them just beating fodder is not what I meant. I didn't mean that they could only beat fodder. I do think that they could beat people in combat. Like Chopper could fight somebody with like the strength level of a Caesar. Maybe not Caesar specifically because he's a Logia and he doesn't have hockey, but you know what I mean, just someone around that strength level. I do believe that Chopper and Brook and Nami are capable. That's what I'm trying to say. So next up we have Usopp. Now I do think Usopp may still be the weakest Straw Hat, but the thing with Usopp is when you're scaling him, it's like tough to do with 1v1 just straight up without giving him any type of like prep time, because that's the type of fighter he is. He's a tactical fighter. So it's really like, is that something that he would do, his fight without thinking? And it's tough to say. And I think it does make a difference because he literally is a tactical person. He's a sniper. And you could debate that he's stronger than Nami, maybe as strong as Chopper and Brook, but I do think he still, in my opinion, is the weakest. That's just my opinion. Now, if it was Soja King, by the way, I mean, it'd be a different story, but it's Usopp. And I do think that Usopp is capable, though, of defeating Gifters. I think that he could go against some enemies. But when you get into that like Topiropo level, like small commander level and stuff like that, Usopp just not yet at least can't hang with him. But I think he has the potential to surpass that. I think all of the Straw Hats do. But right now, I think that Usopp is still kinda on that like Gifter level. And I keep using Gifters just because that's like the easiest way to correlate it to Wano. So next up we have Frankie. Now Frankie actually has a W in Wano. He has defeated Sasuke. Now he did try very hard though. He said that he had hit Sasuke with everything he had, pause. And because of that, we have to kind of scale him with Sasuke. They're like pretty much equal. Not equal, he's stronger, but they're relative. I guess that makes more sense. Because of that, and Sasuke having like good portrayal as one of the stronger Topiropo in my opinion, due to the chapter where we learn about the meritocracy and we hear about Yamato for the first time, Who's Who and Sasuke seem like the two that were trying to like kind of advance themselves. They wanted to take on King and Queen, it looked like. Because of that, I think the portrayal is pretty high. I don't think that means that they're the two strongest, because I still think Alti is probably the strongest in my opinion, but I do think that that means that they are strong in general. I think that Frankie could take on lower commanders and he could beat them at this point. That's kind of where I have Frankie at. And the good thing about him is that if he needs to get stronger, he can create something. You know what I mean? He doesn't have hockey. It's not something he has to train, but if he has the right materials, he can create a weapon that may be stronger than his last. And I think that's awesome and unique with Frankie, but also kind of hinders him in a way because it's like there may be a limit to that. Like how many things can you build to be stronger? You know what I mean? But I think that if he meets Vegapunk, which I really think will happen, I think that's when he'll probably like peak and learn how to create some very strong things for himself. But right now I have him like beating lower commanders. I think that Frankie is pretty strong. So next up on the list, we have Nico Robin. Now Nico Robin, another Straw Hat that got a W against Black Maria recently, has the Demonio floor. I have to give Robin respect. She beat a Topiropo. So I think Nico Robin and Frankie are kind of on that same tier for me. Nico Robin, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think that she could defeat lower admirals. I think that she could defeat lower commanders, just like Frankie could. I think her and Frankie are very powerful at this point. They have concrete W's against Topiropo, and yes, it was hard for them, but they did it, which means they're relative, and that's what matters. So next up we have Jinbei, but Jinbei defeated Who's Who pretty handedly. Like he wasn't really struggling at all. Now I know it looks like he was struggling, but you have to remember the reason why he was struggling was not because the enemies were hard. It's because they were jumping him. They were pretty much throwing him off of his game. But as soon as he got able to 1v1 who's who, you seen what happened. He destroyed him. The CP0 leaders talking amongst themselves and stating that their only concern was who's who, but they were like, that's even if he survives, he is going against Jinbei, Knight of the Sea. So CP0 also giving respect to Jinbei, a former warlord. Jinbei is just a powerful individual. It is what it is. You just kind of have to give Jinbei his respect. With that being said, I think that Jinbei could fight someone like a Jack, like a Queen. I don't know if he'll 100% beat Queen, but I think that he'd go high to extreme diff with people like that. Jinbei is incredibly strong, the fourth strongest person on the crew in my opinion, has decent haki as we've seen, has amazing feats. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now we're getting into the monster trio. So we have Sanji. I think that this is the one I really want to explain. So I said that Sanji would be like YC1 or YC1 plus after Wano. This was me assuming that he mid diffs Queen. Now he could go high to extreme diff with Queen, which would also help his haki bloom, which could push him to that YC1, but it might not be YC1 plus. But I was saying that if he mid diffs Queen, because he looked like he was having a pretty easy time with him, but that might have just been Oda trying to like show Sanji some respect, especially after the Black Maria stuff. So it could change. And Oda does that thing sometimes where he gives characters a lot of respect in the fight and then things change as the fight goes on and they actually struggle a little bit more than what it seems. So that could be what happens. But I think after he defeats Queen in an extreme diff with the haki bloom, he is going to be YC1 after Wano. That's kind of where I have him, but that's with the raid suit, of course, not without it. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the raid suit. I see a lot of people saying they want Sanji to get rid of it. They don't like it. And I mean, I'm indifferent. I don't really care for the raid suit or care against the raid suit. I don't have a problem either way, but I do think with the raid suit after Wano, he'll be YC1 if he does defeat Queen in the high extreme diff altercation. Now, I did a video recently power scaling Zoro, so I don't really have to go in too much detail with this, but basically I think Zoro's in that gray area, the YC1 plus. He did an amazing feat against Kaido, scarring him, something that all of the scabbards couldn't do. He did it in a weaker condition against a stronger Kaido than when Odin did in the flashback. Because of those feats and taking the sovereignty attack, and also if he does fight King and beats King, or he goes back to the roof to fight Kaido, that's even more impressive. But I think Zoro after Wano's in a YC1 plus category, that little gray area between that and an Admiral, and that's kind of where I got him. And last but not least, we have Monkey D. Luffy, who I think is going to be low Admiral level after Wano. I think that he could take almost every Admiral to high to extreme diff after Wano, and I think that he might defeat some of them. And this is assuming that Luffy will grow again, fighting Kaido in a high to extreme diff altercation. He's already bloomed his haki, in my opinion, twice. He had a tough fight in Curry and lost, a tough fight recently on top of Onigashima for 30 minutes and lost. Now he's coming back for another one. So I think with this third haki bloom plus the Conqueror's coding that he will, in my opinion, be able to fight Admirals and be pushing Yonko's very soon after, once Wano is concluded. Now guys, of course, this isn't like super detailed power scaling. This is the best that we can do. It's a lot of speculation as well, but I hope that I did explain myself and how strong I think the crew is at this point. But I want all of your opinions, so make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, like I said, follow me on Twitch and join the Discord. And as always, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during these trying times. This has been Synsei Inc., and I will see you all in the next video.